Good afternoon, everybody. I hope all of you are doing well. First things first, can you see me and can you hear me? I can hear me and I can see me, but that does not mean y'all can. So if somebody could give me a sound check, that would be most awesome. And let me see as I go through. All right. Thank you, Vision. I do appreciate you, sir. All right. So, hello, Candy and Batshit and Royal Lioness. Hello, hello. Ms. Prepper. Oh, Candy again. And Random. Hola, how are you? My friend the Irishman, you've been on fire on Instagram lately. It has been something else. Hey, book club, what's going on? Uh, I can't believe I actually got a notification on time. Actually, this was a last minute video because I'm working on multiple things. Uh, so yeah, I wasn't sure if anybody get them notice till after I was gone. Hey, Joe Morgan, hello, and Vision, thank you. Did I miss anyone in Hey Cheap Girl? Welcome, welcome. And Mimi, hello, hello. I think I got everyone there. Just been busy. Yeah, I'll tell you what, it has been one of those weeks. I get up usually before 5. I'm at the gym shortly after 5 in the morning, and the texts had already started. I was still brushing my teeth. I hadn't even put my gym clothes on. Hey, Loretta, what's going on? You get a gold star. So, time was 3:02. You get a gold star. Good job. So, I guess a lot of you saw my premiere or my video yesterday, and y'all, the trend I'm seeing is just absolutely insane. I think we all see it. I don't know if the general public sees it. I've actually had someone went on one of my TikToks and was like, "Oh, well, I don't listen to guys like him." And they was talking to other people who had already commented and says, "I don't listen to y'all because, like, you know, you guys will only last as long as your ammunition, and then what?" And I was thinking to myself, I kicked that person off the channel because they were stupid. It was a lot of dumb comments. I'm like, you're not adding any value to this conversation. Be gone. Um, but I was thinking to myself, well, I'll last a hell of a lot longer than you with no food, no ammo. But you go, you dumb person. Um, corruption at the Russian Peninsula. Hey, Milkmaid, what's going on? Hold on, I missed a few people here. Hey, Copycat's in there somewhere. There's Copycat. Hello. Uh, well, it just made no sense. It's like, well, you know how these people are. And it was funny because I was like, is it because I'm a prepper or because I'm Hispanic? I mean, are you being racist? And it was one of those like, you know, we will create the new matriarchy people, which was funny because I have a lot of following on TikTok that's actually on both sides of the spectrum because I try to put out the message like all of you eat and all of you have people you care for. So why not collaborate on this? We all agree on it and move forward. And for the most part, they get. And then you get these random idiots. Um, hey, Watchman, we had one. I had one who I don't know. He just basically a bunch of insults. So I looked at his channel, and this guy's entire channel was about basically molesting people with pickles. I kid you not, with produce, but cartoonish shit. And I'm thinking to myself, this must be some like 17-year-old stoner. And no, I when you know that filter you can do where you become a cartoon and all they see are your eyes and your face. He had a black a salt and pepper mustache, like I do. And I'm like, you are an old man, dude. And you're making these comments in your videos, and then you're telling me and my followers were stupid. Like, I don't. Hey, what's going on, Mad Shad? I don't understand. Mad Shad is distributing tacos for Taco Tuesday. Hey, my mother Spark is in there somewhere. Hello. Hey, sassy gal. Hola. So yeah, the trolls have been out, but they're not great quality trolls, every now and then I'll get a good one where he's like, "Well, I disagree." And, if they disagree and it's intelligent, we can have that conversation, but when it's just dumb things, and then you look at the person's channel, it's like, you're kind of a weirdo or pervert. Like, what so I kicked actually, I started referring to him as Pickle Boy in the chat and on the other platform, and then he got agitated at me. And then, he started insulting everybody, so I kicked him off the channel. But I thought it was kind of funny that but it's not funny and it's not witty. Like what these folks are posting, it's not funny or witty or intelligent. Like, oh, I disagree, tisk tisk, it's just garbage. And it's like, I'm losing IQ points reading your nonsense, so be gone. And you just kick them off. Most of the demonic possessed people don't even frequent the chat. Well, interesting you say that. So, and I saw this on a couple of different platforms. Right now, they've had over 10 bodies show up around the parks in Austin, all of which are young men, um, all of whom had been drinking in those Austin like nightclubs. And I reached out to some folks I know in Austin and I asked, yeah, they're if it's witty, like they're trolling me, but it's funny, I'll even put an LOL there. It's like, hey, that's funny. Can't say hi to each and all right, no worries, no worries. But yeah, no kidding. Korea communication, South Korea. I know. I saw that yesterday. And actually it's interesting you bring that up, but to my point in Austin, and it'll actually tie into what I want to talk about today. Um, I thought maybe like remember Jeffrey Dahmer targeted gay men, right? Young gay men or homosexual teenagers, stuff like that. Ted Bundy targeted brunettes, women, right? Like they each of these people has like this thing, but they're saying most of the dudes that are winding up dead are they're not necessarily all gay or all straight or any different color. Like nobody really knows, and the cops are saying nothing about it. And but it's been a string. Somebody mapped it out, and there were like 15 people killed on the waterways in the Austin area because of several rivers crisscross there. So that's what they're wondering. And then a guy in Boston comments and said, "See my video," and he put the link. And they've got a guy up there killing, basically killing college women. And he tried to grab two, but nobody could get a description because he dresses like a ninja and pops out of the dark. And it's just, yeah, like to Watchman's point, these evil freaks, um, they don't fear the law, right? Because I mean, people are committing felonies and they're absolutely getting away with a lot of them. So here's something fun for you guys. So Walmart has left Portland or is leaving Portland. Walgreens is leaving Portland and San Francisco. So Whole Foods, Mr. Oh, we're all woke and all that. Whole Foods is now leaving Portland because the crime has gotten to where they're losing boatloads of money staying in the town from the theft, not from people buying stuff. Um, Crazy, crazy. Yeah, you gotta stay strapped, absolutely. And, wait, what was this? Yeah, fentanyl, I can't talk today. Fentanyl is everywhere, and, don't come to my house when I make spaghetti unless you're good at ducking. Yeah, no kidding. Taco Wars in Cleveland. I have no idea what that is, but I'm assuming it has to do with the tacos being thrown around by Mad Chad. Um, yes, and, you can't take misdemeanors and make them felonies when you don't like the person, but then take actual felonies where people are victimized and turn them into misdemeanors so people can walk right out and do it again. This recidivism is absolute garbage. Um, and it just blows my mind. So, yeah, the trolls are out on the internet, but they're weird trolls. It's not like, they come after you or at least they have something witty or funny. It's just garbage. Like they're mentally not there. Um, And now they're out in the street apparently harassing people. True, true, but if nobody understands the jokes, like even the other commenters are like, they're like, what? I'm like, okay, this people's just gibberish. Serial killing free zones. Yeah, along with the gun free zones and the dog free zones, because that'll hi, no troll. Hey, Fatty Double Stuff. Hello. Love the name, by the way. That's awesome. Uh, so hey, Stray Kitten. There are a few people snuck in on me while I was off of my little soliloquy there. Jeep Girl, I think I got everybody. So folks, hey, Farmer, what's going on? So today, yesterday actually, I actually got a State Department notification for travel. And I'm still on their mailing list from when I used to go overseas. So I get this stuff. I'm assuming it's public release. Now, the version I got came from the Overseas Security and Advisory Council, OSAC. There is a version of it on the State Department, which is basically the same thing with a different header. But they put out a terrorism alerts in the private sector notification. And I thought, I read through it and I'm like, okay, well, this is terror related internationally. But somebody did their homework on this one. Like, someone at State Department earned a raise today. Because I'm looking at it and going, wow, these guys are really whoever wrote this was paying attention. So basically I'll read it to you, and I won't read the whole thing because it's like pages and pages. Um, I'm not a robot, I'm a smartass. There you go. Joe is not the Russian bot. He's the American bot who trolls the Russian bots. But anyway, um, shirtless smartass, nice. Lion nut. Is that a cupcake? I can't see what that is. Lion, not bot. There you go. A taco war. Who can make the best taco? See, that's fun. Just right after cocktails, you're going to be cry laughing. Yeah, and then we'll all get kicked off of YouTube because Joel take out all the bad jokes from the Pandora's box, which is in his mind. And I know you're laughing right now, what I just said. The U.S. State Department frequently issues security warnings related to terrorist threats, blah, blah, blah. The following terrorism-related security alert may be published and be updated accordingly, and they just give this big old intro. But then they give companies and corporate types and traveling business people how to prepare for a terror attack. And I'm like, you can absolutely translate this to what we do. For instance, one, notify employees of any alert. So, in other words, if you're the boss, you get the alert, tell all your employees. Well, same thing with family, right? You get a notification of some kind of incident going on. You try to notify everyone in your circle as quick as you can. I am woman, hear me roar. There we go. Semi-automatic tacos. I'll tell you what, you put too much serrano pepper in there, and it'll be a fully automatic taco when it comes out. Live chat, yeah. Try not to get us all kicked off. So also review emergency procedures and communication plans. So you can use this for your own prepping in your circle. Do you have comms? And if you don't have radio comms for the whole group, do you have a plan? In other words, if lights go out, where do we meet? Do we meet at home? Do we meet at the school? Do you have kids at school? You tell the high schooler to go to the junior high, pick up your brother or your sister, and then come home. If they can't do that, do they meet at Taco Bell? Do they meet at Taco Bell? Do they meet at Panera, wherever? Meet here and then walk home, or go to the fire station. I will find you there. So having this kind of setup is good. Now, they also mention review your locations, which you can take two ways. One is review your work location, which you should be familiar with your egress and ingress to your work building. Also, how to clear your building on foot if you can't make it to the parking garage. These are not bad plans. Also, know your neighborhood. If you approach your neighborhood and there's danger at the normal entrance, do you know other ways in to get to your residence so you can meet your family? And does your family know? So also they mentioned, this was interesting, de-escalation decision points. And it said if your organization increases security measure, restricts employee travel, consider why and when such measures should be or would be reversed. So in other words, if things calm down for a bit, is that the time you want to move people, you want to relocate, you want to pick up extra preps, whatever the case is. So I don't know why there's hot poop on my high explosive tacos. Yes, very, very valid. We're still on the tacos in the chat. Um, it says here, consult the State Department and your corporate blah, blah, blah. But for all of us, you can translate that to consult local authorities, right? Because the Fed's going to be, when you're dealing with ICS, incident, the incident command systems, right? And I had to take a bunch of courses to understand how these work. It starts at the local level, the local responders, the local city council, the local emergency planners. They're the ones who are going to get hit first, right? Being in the know with them, even if you stop by the fire station that's a couple of miles away and just go, guys, what's going on? You get a feel for what's going on. If you're a volunteer in one of these capacities, if you're a volunteer on the emergency planning committee, on the city council, uh, if you're like a civilian aide to the or volunteer for the fire department, these are great ways. You drive down, the people at the station house already know you and you can get in the know. And that's huge because now you're not sitting in the dark waiting for someone to tell you what's happening. You're ahead of the game. And during Harvey, we were getting information hours, if not a half day before everyone else. And I was reaching out to people outside my area and other resources I had in different agencies. So I was able to get all sorts of tidbits. So me and my guys knew what was going on. So Drunk Joe may have tacos tomorrow. That's not a bad idea, actually. Also, learning to skip meals is probably not a bad idea as well. So anyway, this was really interesting. And then they go on, how can individuals prepare, in this case, for a terrorist attack? But no, that's fine, Milkmaid. I figured you were. I just keep looking up and I still see taco discussions. I'm like, now I'm hungry. Now I want tacos. See, you have to cut the live stream short so I can go get dinner. Um, individual terror attacks. Now, obviously, if you're walking through Walmart and Walmart blows up, you're kind of hosed. But the one thing, educate yourself, understand the local environment, what's going on locally. For instance, protests, riots. They're planning to protest X or Y, or we don't like that guy, so we're going to go and throw tomatoes at him. You may not want to be in that part of the city when the tomato throwing occurs, because that will quickly become bottles and Molotovs and rocks. So, also minimize time. This was an interesting one. Minimize the time you spend in a location threat. You have to go to the store and something starts going down. You want to get the hell home or get somewhere else. So get what you need. Don't dilly dally. Collect your people and out the door and just skedaddle. So whoever it was doing homework. Of course, the ever present situational awareness, right? Make a habit of locating exits, identifying possible hiding places, thinking through a plan of escape in the event something happens. Keep a low profile, aka gray man, gray woman. If you're staying at a hotel, which is something I do constantly, and this was very good, familiarize yourself with the hotel exits, where they lead, right? Because you don't want to go down the nearest stairwell and now you're trapped in an alley with a bunch of thugs, right? Um, Select a room between the third and the fifth floor if possible. It's not always possible, but try that. It's high enough to get off the street, right? Because even the second floor, you got a guy on another guy's shoulder, you can get in the second floor window. Third to the fifth, you can't, but past the fifth or sixth, the fire trucks cannot reach you unless they have a big ladder truck. So you don't want to be in that situation where they set the hotel on fire and now the fire truck can't get you. So now you gotta, like, what do? Jump to the next balcony and break a leg? You see, um, no emergency communication procedures for your company. Now, for you personally, if I'm traveling, I'm usually traveling with my company. The first thing I do is call the people before I even get in an airplane. What's the local situation on the ground? What's the currency exchange? What's local attire, right? If I go with like my grunt style t-shirt with all my flags and my bones and skulls, and I'm going to a country that doesn't like American, that's not very great. That's stupid, right? If they're all business shirt and tie, fine. If they're hoodies, I can do hoodies. I try to bring a mix of clothes when I travel. We're all like Neo, can leap buildings. There you go. Local Facebook groups, absolutely correct. And even if not local Facebook groups, you can even go on Google Earth. Like when I went to Buenos Aires and I just went to the middle of the city, and you could do a street view and just look at the people. How do they dress? Oh, they're all, slacks, jeans, button shirts, jackets. Baseball caps were not uncommon in Argentina. Baseball are the little brim hats because it's sunny down there. Done. I just changed a few things in my bag and off I went, and nobody noticed me. Plus I speak the language, which if you can learn other languages, absolutely a good idea. Yeah, absolutely, absolutely. Hey Magic, what's going on? So also, prepare your home and vehicle with emergency supplies, which is what we do anyway, including multi-day supply of food, water, medications, first aid kit. Visit ready.gov for a list of basic emergency supplies. Whoever made the ready.gov basic list did their homework too. It's like if I had to tell someone, they're like, I don't know what to do, I would be go there, get those things, wait a few days, think about it, and then come back. And then we can talk more. So again, really good recommendations here, guys. I think this is posted on state.gov. Let's see. Also report suspicious behavior. Someone looks like he's running around with a bazooka. You may want to call the cops. Um, let's see how organizations can prepare, which goes for your church, it goes for your workplace. Educate employees, review physical security, not just at work, but in your house. Are you locking your doors? You're turning the alarm on. Are you locking your car door, even if it's in your garage, right? Um, Power going out in a hotel. Yeah, absolutely. That's why when I'm in a hotel, I actually, in the chair, there's always like a chair and a desk. In the chair, I leave my boots, socks, my jeans with a belt run through the belt loop, and a t-shirt and a hoodie folded up. Because if something pops off, I can get up. I have my flashlight and my bed stand. I can check my room, I'll be dressed, and then I'm starting to pull apart my suitcase and my backpack and prioritize what's going to go in the bag, because I'm not going to bring the suitcase. I'm going to take the emergency things I need, and I'm going to be on foot with a backpack only because I can run with a backpack. Um, Now, if you have like a travel bag, like the Indiana Jones duffel bag looking thing, you can probably finagle that so you have one in front and one in the back, but that might slow you down. So yeah, but yeah, it's a lock the garage. Yes. So they could also break your car door, your window, pop your garage door open, or now they've opened your garage. And if you don't lock the door between your garage and your main house, they now can get in, which is where the alarm and locking the door come in. So, folks, definitely, there you go. Thank you, Vision. And right, and you vary for location. And I found, for instance, a hoodie is great when it covers your head, but also you can blend in. Like I could put on a hoodie, put a mask on, and I'm an instant Antifa, right? I can take it off, put my hat sideways, and I'll be something. You know what I mean? I can blend in or just disappear. All those videos I did about riots, which were one of my early videos on my channel, I talk about the people in the background, right? Because there are people fighting in front, and you look in the background, there's a guy with his wife and 2 kids running along a wall. You barely see them. Everyone is looking at the fight. The camera's focused here, and in the background, you see this guy with his kids getting the hell out of Dodge. You wanna be that guy and that lady with your kids on Tifas. Or chupacabras, you can be those too. Button down your chick corn. He's tough cookie. Okay, Apocalypse rolling out the hospital. No kidding. Booby trapping everything. And you know Mad Chad would probably have ingenious traps. Um, that would be a funny live stream, dude. If I ever make it up there, we need to do fake booby traps. Like glitter traps, but actual trap. Not that it hurts people, it scares the crap out of some folks. That would be hilarious. Oh yeah, that's true. Thank you, Lucky. Yeah, we better watch that. Anyway, also what to do during an incident. So I'm going to run through these real quick. So one, evaluate the environment. Again, situational awareness. Run, hide, or fight, depending on your circumstance. So a lot of us talk about, you know, gotcha. Yes, good point. A lot of us talk about, being able to carry. If you're in an airport or you're traveling to certain locations, you may not be able to, or you may have limited options. A taser may be legal, a handgun may not be. You don't know. So you have to be some random dude that dressed like a tweaker. There's a thought. Um, Actually, people would probably not even notice you if you dressed all like you rolled out of a trash can and just wandered down the bayous like in Houston or Austin. Nobody'd notice you were there. Um, they also mention if there's a detonation of some type, um, seek cover. Don't run to, but not necessarily run away. And here's what they say: beware of secondary and complex attacks, if you catch my meaning. So move away from windows because overseas they've seen a trend where there'll be an incident here, people will flee, and there'll be another incident here. Think of the Boston bombing, right? 2 locations within what, a minute of each other. So people flee one and they have an incident in the other. So try, and this is hard for us to predict, but what they're basically saying is if you get caught in the middle of something, seek cover, if not concealment, or both, and then ascertain what the best course of action is. Because just because everyone else is running that way may not be where you want to be running. You may want to be going another direction because the human eye is going to follow that big movement. And if there's a troublemaker, they're going to follow that movement too. So, also, they said, be familiar with first aid. Most of us have talked about that. Also, if you're in a hotel or remote, shelter in place, even if you're on the road, like in a hotel. So that's something I hadn't thought of is if I have to shelter in place in my hotel for a day or two, do I have the amenities? Now, I normally bring snacks and a case of water with me when I check into a hotel. I immediately buy snacks and water and stick them in the little fridge. But something to think about, especially if you're traveling with a family, it's not just convenience. If you get locked in, while they're chasing a bad guy of some type, they're going to shut a city down. You want to be able to stay there while you're, hunker down while you're in position, so to say. So, there were a lot of good tidbits. Yes, so we have to take it once a year, the training for active shooting, not in public places. See, but you got to figure, like, if you're commuting, for me, and I don't commute, my city's not that big. Like I spitballed it, I can probably walk home in about 3 hours. But if you're in Houston and you commute downtown and you have to get to the north side where the subdivisions are, we mapped it out at 8 hours, and that's assuming you don't stop very much. Now, if you have to go potty, you're hurt, you get distracted, like something, the road's blocked, and now you have to divert. It can take so much more time. So, folks, in light of what I said yesterday, about all these puzzle pieces, all these analysts kind of creating this trend about things that can happen, especially the ones saying kinetic incidences may occur within the United States if something pops off elsewhere. We need to have this in the back of our mind. If you're on the road, if you're traveling, one of my things, even if I'm going solo, say, I don't know, Houston or Dallas, just across the state, I'll let multiple people know. My workplace will know, hey, he's leaving this morning. He should be there in the afternoon. When I get to my destination, I check in with work first if the office is open and say, hey, I just made it here. I'm going to go check into my hotel now. So somebody's laid eyes on me. Then I'll check into the hotel. I usually will let whatever work colleague on the other side know, hey, I'm staying at the Holiday Inn, I'm staying at the Hilton, whatever the hell the company puts me in. So they know where I'm going. I'm eating. Oh, for crying out. See, and somebody's going to get a smack. Oh, that's terrible. I can't believe I clicked on that one, Marco. Run amok. I told you that was our lunch. There you go. Hit it like a cheesy Crunchwrap Supreme. There you go. Uh, ooh. So, Magic, are you okay? Hold on a second here. I lost the chat. But folks, this is really really good advice these folks are giving all of us. Whoever did this did their homework, and I summarized it because you could see it's like paragraphs and paragraphs. It took me a good 5-10 minutes to read it thoroughly, much less collaborate. Hey, Cold War, enjoy and have fun at the soccer game. So, folks, this is good stuff for us to think about, right? If the trend is going the way the analysts think, I saw a financial report earlier that said small businesses and mid-sized businesses are on average taking out a loan every 90 days, every 3 months. And over 60% said the last loan they took out was much harder to get than the previous one or two that they've taken. So the businesses are starting to hurt right now, especially the family size business, the middle small businesses. Um, we're going to see that roller coaster with the economy. You're going to see people get laid off. Some may get hired, purely depending on what they're willing to do. So we need to maintain this kind of awareness and this kind of this mindset, really, when we're out and about, even if it's just going to Walmart or we're just going to pick up dinner, right? You got to pay attention to what's around you, especially if you're in an area, and they mention it repeatedly in this report. If you're in an area that's prone to crime, it's prone to whatever violence, you want to be in the know. You want to be the person who understands what's around you. You want to know where the exits are. You want to pick the best place in the hotel. So, folks, I thought this one was a really good topic for the Tuesday talk show. I think it's just common sense, guys. This is We're at that point where it can turn really good or really bad, and we don't know where it'll go. And so it doesn't hurt to maintain your understanding and not just your awareness, as you guys have pointed out, immediately around you, but understand before you even show up, what are the trends there? Are they targeting people? Are they hitting business people? Where's the crime happening? Is it happening in the hotels, in the mall, in the shopping area, in downtown, in the bars, right? Um, Understanding that before you show up gives you an advantage, right? I know it sounds terrible, but you've heard the joke that, the guys said, well, if the bear shows up, I just need to outrun you guys, and the bear will get you and I'll run away. We have to think like that a little bit and say, I need to be the one who sees the danger coming before everyone else. No, you can alert everyone, say, hey, danger, run away. But you don't want to be the one who's completely oblivious, watching your iPad, whatever, and things are going down and it's on top of you before you notice. True story, and I'll close with this one. At the gym this morning, I go and there's a work colleague goes about the same time I do, and he's a big guy, does powerlifting, and he wants to use a machine. There's a young lady playing on her phone, sitting like cross-legged between the two machines, just tick, 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 tick. And he goes, now he's a big guy, like he's got 3, 4 inches on me, maybe 100 pounds. He's this big behemoth. He goes to the young woman, and nothing. So he keeps like, so he smacks the machine, like hits the chair, like tick, 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 tick. And it was loud because I could hear it from the elliptical or from the treadmill over my headset. And I'm like, damn, that girl's like deaf or something. And finally he gets like this close and goes, hey. And she goes, oh. And he goes, are you using this machine? And she goes, no. And he looks up at me and goes, and I'm like, man, but you don't want to be that girl. You don't want to be the one who's completely oblivious and something happens. Uh yeah, I don't disagree with you there. If I were, yeah, and you have to. Um, hey Moon, what's going on? And Oki jumped in there earlier. I think I saw Oki. Hey Oki, what's going on? But folks, look, keep this stuff in mind. Okay, now's the time to up your game. Now's your time to think about this kind of stuff before something happens. So if it pops off, whether it's some big global thing or just some industrial accident, some misfortune, and you happen to be in that area, you're not the one caught completely flat footed, losing your shoes while you're trying to run away, which is something I never understood. People run away from an incident and their shoes everywhere. It's like, did you not tie your shoes? You don't want to be those folks. I mean, I'll run away barefoot, but I can move a hell of a lot faster with both my boots on. So, folks, pay attention, be careful, and just, I don't know. That would be terrible. Yeah, they do tune the world out, and you know what? Those are the ones that wind up becoming victims because they don't see what's around them. Nobody wants to approach the mom who's saying, get away, staring the guy down, and she's got that daggone, Topo Chico bottle in her hand. She's going to crack you with. The guy doesn't want that girl. He doesn't want to mug that mom. He wants to steal the purse from the lady who's like on her phone playing and she left her purse in the shopping cart. He doesn't want to steal the car from the dude who's looking around the car before he gets in and out, right? He wants the guy who's texting on the phone and not paying attention that he can come over and take his phone away. Don't be those people. Be the ones who are looking. At the very least, if I'm gonna get a beating, I want to look the guy in the face while we fight. So yeah, don't be a don't be a bobblehead. That would be a hell of a good T-shirt. Don't be a bobblehead. And that's a lot of dog food. Ooh, I don't know about the quality of that dog food. Josh, what's going on? Hey, Topo Chico is good stuff. So oh, post your comment again. Disappeared. Okay. So, and Josh gets a taco. Everyone's getting a taco today, Josh. So, but folks, look, the State Department folks, they really did their homework. I'd encourage you go check it out. I think this particular report, and again, this one was emailed to me, so I can't post it. But there's supposed to be a similar link. I think Vision threw one of the links on the chat. This is a good time to look through that checklist and mentally update. Is there something you need to be working on? It could be your travel plans. It could be the bag you bring with you when you go on road trips. It could be, where's the family going to meet if all of you are out of the house and something happens? Is there a place other than home you meet first before you come home? So, folks, I'm going to leave you with that one. I got to run because I got a few other fires I got to put out tonight. So it'll be a late night for me. But, ladies and gentlemen, until next time, God bless, Godspeed. And remember, keep aware of what's going on, right? The trends are not good. That doesn't mean we should freak. This is a time for us to look at what we can do and control what's within our sphere of influence. Okay, collaborate, reach out to each other. And folks, be safe out there this week. I'll see you all later.